We're at Haulalai, baby. 4 Seasons. So good.
I'm gonna get you, and I'll rise and melt, but our lips not yet. While I'm up on the volcano, I'm gonna get you.
Welcome. Aloha.
Aloha.
We are enjoying our R&R here at the 4 Seasons Haulalai. We were just chatting last night about how the first time we came here was in 2010 and I just won. But when, back then we would book our flight to Hawaii and not book a flight home. And we'd be like, if we raced well, we would stay. Like we kind of
earn it. You got to earn it, right?
We kind of left it open. Like, okay, if you race really well, you get to stay at the 4 Seasons. If you race okay, maybe you stay up the coast a little further somewhere else. But yeah, I remember we got to come here in 2010 the first time, and yeah, we love it. And
Amazing.
So that's been a big motivator to try and earn this holiday. But then later in our career, I think we're like, let's just go to the 4 Seasons.
Yeah, we're like, yeah.
After the race.
Win or lose, you're going to the 4 Seasons at this point.
Yeah.
And we get to share it with the kids, which is amazing. So huge thanks for the 4 Seasons for hosting us. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about the race. 10th Kona, 10th Ironman World Championship.
Now we have 10 each.
We're both at 10.
I had 10 starts. I had 2 DNFs. The year I broke my arm and the year I got knocked off my bike by a car. So Tim has 9 finishes, so he's one up on me in the finishes. Yeah. He has 1 DNF.
Just one, the first one. And then I vowed to never DNF a race again, which I held true in Miami when I had a heart attack. I didn't DNF.
Oh my God.
So at least I kept my promise.
Okay, next, no more.
No more of that.
No more of that.
13th place, not my best results. 8:02, I think 58. So actually one of my fastest times, maybe my second fastest time. Amazingly fast day. It's pretty clear the young guys are here. Mm-hmm. They've kind of rewritten this race and really the sport in general.
Yeah, the top 4 were rookies, and that's kind of unheard of here in Kona.
Yep.
And I think the average age is something like, I don't know, 25 or 26 for those top 4 guys. And I think in 19, the average age was like 36. With Jan Frodeno, Tim O'Donnell. I think
Sebi on the podium.
Sebi was on the podium.
Yeah, so the podium average was probably 10 years more than it is in 2022. But it's crazy. I mean,
times are changing.
Yeah, and it's just exponential, that kind of growth. But yeah, coming off the heart attack, I didn't really know what I guess I wanted from the race until I got in the race. I knew I wanted to be here. I trained and prepped like I normally would to try to win a world title. I think my runway was a little short coming off of Des Moines. The recovery off Des Moines was really hard. I mean, it was 5-6 weeks before I could get back into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Just the race physically took a toll on me mentally and emotionally. And then, kind of some heart check-ins after the race before I really felt comfortable racing. And you were saying that too. This was the first time, I think you said that I was out there, that you actually weren't worried about me having an issue.
Yeah, so I got a text from Timothy's mum after the race, and she said that she was sick to her stomach all day, just worrying about Tim out there racing. And actually, since Tim's heart attack, this was the first time I didn't have any fear for his well-being, and I was more just happy to see him out there racing. The last Ironman, the whole race, I was kind of nervous, but knowing that he's done all the tests with all the top cardiologists, and everyone's given him the green light and said, go out, enjoy it, you're fine. The fact that him having the same incident is like more rare than him going out and being hit by a car or something, which is a reality in cycling on the roads and so forth. So I feel like it was nice to just have that out of my mind.
Yeah. The lead-in, I think everything went pretty well in Lawrence. Being, having you and the family at home was obviously hard, but in terms of training, it did make it a lot easier. But I mean, the swim was last minute. I feel like those last 2 weeks were the only really good swim sessions I had all year. And then the bike, I felt like I was riding strong, but also that maybe like my FTP on all my sessions was set kind of low. So I was hitting it, but maybe not knowing what these young guys are going to ride. I mean, Sam Laidlow off the front averaged 3:11, and I think I averaged 2:91 for the race, which for me is amazing. I think it's one of the higher races I've had.
Honestly, what you were able to accomplish after the last 18 months is mind-blowing. To be in the mix as a 42-year-old who's had a heart attack with these young 20-something-year-olds, I think is incredible. And you said before the race, weeks in advance of the race, I asked, what did you want to accomplish? What were you hoping for? And you said, I want to have a race I can be proud of. And I think you definitely accomplished that and more.
Absolutely. And I think that kind of came in on the run for sure. Just wanted to be able to walk away with my head high and, enjoy the finish shoot, and just the experience coming back. But it was a tough day. I mean, right from the start, the young guys took it out fast. That swim group, I think there was 19 guys in the front pack. I made the front pack, super stoked about that, but I got my butt kicked. I mean, I was right in the melee. And
gloves off.
Gloves off, and I couldn't get around. Usually I can get out of the draft and surge and get up front. I just,
actually,
top end.
Matt Lieto did comment during the broadcast that Tio's in there just getting beat up. Because I think you were stuck in between two other athletes, and it just was, I
just was a rag doll in there. I mean, it wasn't pretty. A little bit of a sloppy transition. I ended up at the very tail end of that pack coming on the bike. But through kind of years of knowing that race, I didn't panic. I was able to move my way up quickly, and I knew you go up and out and back on Kuakini, and then you do that little climb up Palani and hit the Queen K. By the time you get to the Queen K, you better be in a good position, because that's when guys start making moves. And if you're at the tail end of a 20-guy pack and attacks start happening, you're going to get dropped. So got myself up in a good position, and then found myself kind of in a small group with Ditlev,
Gustav,
Christian, I think Jesper.
Max Newman
and Laidlow had kind of already got away. They had a minute off the front.
Right,
Yep. So we were kind of chasing them, and then Ditlev broke it up around 60K, and I made another. I got dropped and clawed back up to Gustav. Then got attacked again through an aid station climbing up to Javi, and it said no. I got to be smart here. So, and that's what the day was, I think, for me, just being smart. And the ride down from Javi, always fast. Found myself alone on the Queen K. And I always prepare to kind of ride alone, I guess, because you got to be strong. You got to be able to get in your own groove, and it paid off. And then I got to see the family coming off of out of T2 into the run. The emotions were, I was trying not to, it's like tearing up. You take that right hand down Haulalai and everybody's there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in it.
That's such a interesting point in the race, because I remember distinctly hopping off the bike and getting on the run, and the crowds are crazy and getting emotional. You're like, oh my God, I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
This is what I always dreamed of. The crowd, the emotion in the crowd, the number of people out there, and then also like picking out your family, and then also just supporters and people you've known forever. I think that's it's the nicest part of racing, when you see a sponsor you've had for 10 years or whatever, and they're out there screaming for you. You see like supporters or friends that you've made through the sport, and they're out there just screaming for you. That is like super emotional. Obviously you can't really get super emotional.
Yeah, you got to try to like reel it back in.
Hold it in. But I always found the start of that run, and that run along Elite Drive in particular, just like hard to hold in the emotions, because it is like such a culmination of all the work you've done and all the years of work you've put in and all the people that help you along the way. And it's pretty special.
Yeah, it definitely kept me, I think, in the race. My legs felt horrible, honestly, when I hit T2, and I think I probably overrode a little bit for my fitness, which is fine. I mean, I wanted to be in the race, and I didn't overdo it, I think, completely. I probably just, notch it up a dial or two. But yeah, running, kind of with Sebi that first 6-8K, and then Ditlev came along, and my plan was to be conservative on Alihi, and then really try to find my rhythm. And when I got on the Queen K, and I just got on the Queen K, and I did not find that rhythm. Like Ditlev and Sebi started to run away pretty quickly. So that's when I kind of had an internal conversation with myself. What do you really want here? Like, what is this about? And I don't know, for me, I just had, almost like a self-realization that being out there was celebrating, me coming back and getting the point where I could race and be in the mix of a world championship, and celebrating everybody around me that made that happen, including, obviously you guys and our partners, and then all the fans in the sport and all the people out there. So I kind of just said, all right, I know my body, this is my 10th time. I'm on that edge where if I'm going to either push it and try to get it squeeze the top 10, and the way I feel, maybe blow up, quite possibly blow up, or I'm just going to run strong and steady and just kind of enjoy all this and try to be present with everybody on this journey, because I feel like it's not just my journey, it's kind of been a journey with so many others that we've taken along the way, and I just wanted to be a good happy ending. I didn't want to be walking in at 9.5 hours or
spend the next 3 hours in medical,
or you spend not be able to just soak up that vibe. But I tell you what, the crowd was so amazing, and Kenny was out there, and you could just feel that energy, and I was just so grateful, and I had so much thanks and gratitude for being there and getting to enjoy that, and obviously having you guys at the finish line. It's been crazy year and a half.
Crazy year and a half, and with that, I think it might be time for us to
Yes, I know what time it is. Live
aloha. Enjoy some cocktails, enjoy some time with the little ones on the island.
Let's go find some mahanu too.
Yeah, go swim.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks everyone. Mahalo.
But our lips not yet. Malama pono kokino, I'm gonna get you.